They hid the truth in shadows, but every heart can find its light.
Be Brian Kohberger that called into T-Rev's channel. Dr. John and I even discussed this, what it would mean if it was indeed Brian Kohberger, and we weren't able to confirm it then the night we discussed it on Friday. We had to say, we are not sure, but we want to talk about this and what it means.
If you were going to kill somebody, how would you get away with it?
Hi, my name is Brian. Would you be able to give me a haircut tomorrow by any chance?
Despite this attempt at debunking, the shadow of doubt still looms, with some people believing that the person on the show might indeed be the killer.
Within hours of Kohberger's arrest, a YouTube clip from a crime podcast emerged, immediately went viral, okay? The users of the podcast were saying, hey, this is Brian Kohberger. I didn't believe it until we interviewed someone who knew Brian Kohberger in high school. She heard the clip and said that is definitely his voice. Now, is she a certified expert? No, but it made me take another look. Take a listen for yourself.
One thing that every single one of them, I feel like has asked me is, if you were going to kill somebody, how would you get away with it?
Now, again, it's him talking about the murders as removed from them. The host of that podcast initially was unsure as well whether it was Brian. Now believes it was likely him. He goes by T-Rev, so we'll call him that as well, and he joins us now. Thank you very much for coming with your splendid YOLO hat on. You only live once. Good choice. So, Brian Kohberger, you believe he called into the podcast. Why?
I mean, with friends reaching out and saying, or people like her that spoke out that said that it's, that's him 100%. I mean, without me hearing his voice, I'm like, it's unconfirmed. But if you got friends that knew him and grew up with him saying it's confirmed, then I gotta say, hey, yeah, this is probably Brian Kohberger. But, I did send it into the FBI. I did clip that. I also went through 80,000 phone calls, found the number, sent it into the FBI as well. And they have that, and hopefully they get down to that information.
Good. Do you know that they are in receipt of it? Did they come back to you at all?
I know they have it. I've never got an email back yet.
All right. Well, good. You did what you're supposed to do. Now, what struck you about the kinds of comments that this man made to you on the podcast?
Oh, man. Why would 10 people come up and ask you how to get away with murder? I mean, make that make sense to me. Why would 10 human beings like ourselves come up and say, hey, how would I get away with murder? And that's nobody's going to do that. And realistically in life, who is coming up to me or you or anybody that is around us right now and asking us, hey, do you know how to get away with murder?
Brian Kohberger, a seemingly ordinary man, now stands accused, sending shockwaves through Moscow. But as our narrative unfolds, we find the defense challenging a fundamental aspect: the precision of cell phone tracking in this sparsely populated area.
Police department, show yourself. We have a search warrant for the building. Police department, show yourself. You're good, dude. Go back inside. Yep. No. Flashlights? Flashlights. Talbot, the bedroom door is locked. Can you also boot it? Yeah. You need anything in your clipboard? No, I'm good. Okay. He's got it. Thank you, guys. Just the one locked door? Yeah. And we didn't boot it because the keys actually worked. What? Oh, sweet. Oh, even better. It's locked because there's only one on. Later today, I'll talk later. Yeah.
Okay, so that was the actual police footage from going into Brian Kohberger's apartment. Now, if there was any connection at all, if Brian Kohberger did call into T-Rev, this is all hypothetical saying, if he did call into T-Rev because he was featuring the IDAHO4 case, and he said what you heard, why would 10 people come up to him and say, how would you get away with murder? If they were the frat boys, would you then believe that maybe this could be possible, that a frat group approached him and asked him, is that how he's connected? Did they answer his surveys? Were they the ones that emailed him? If there's any connection, the police would know. They would know from the email addresses. They would know from a simple question form that someone had filled out online. How else would he be connected to any frat members? Here's what I'm going to go with. Watch the following clip I'm about to show you. This is when Showalter calls in and basically says what he says. Listen. It's going to be redacted to a certain point. Hold on.
This is Sergeant Hathaway.
Hey, how's it going, sir?
Hey, how we doing?
My name is. I want to make like a statement about, I believe, the night of Saturday.
Okay, what's going on?
I'm just friends with Maddie. I was with her at the bar that night. And I forget who, I don't know the person we left with, but we left to get grub truck at like 2, and we were there from like 2 to probably latest 2:30. And then she and the other lady got picked up in a silver sedan. That's my only description I know. And then they went home from there. And I just wanted to let you guys know, as far as like I knew about her whereabouts. I don't know if that helps with anything, but
I mean, yeah, anything helps. You said you were with them?
I was with Maddie at the corner club, and then they wanted to leave with Maddie and our friend. I don't recall who her friend was. I was intoxicated, but then we went to Grub Truck, and then they got picked up from Grub Truck.
Okay.
And that's as far as I knew about her whereabouts that night.
Okay. Well,
yeah, she just got in a silver sedan.
But you don't know who it was or anything?
No, I didn't see who the driver was.
And you said your name was...
Yes, sir.
How do you spell your last name? And do you have a middle initial?
Yes, sir.
Date of birth? What's that current address for you?
Yeah, I'm right down the road at...
You said...
Yes, sir.
Is that where you're at now?
No, I drove home this morning.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Boise.
Oh, Boise.
Yeah, I was just talking to my parents, and I didn't know if I would be helpful or not, and my dad was like, yeah, anything could maybe help, so...
What's a good phone number for you?
Yes, sir, it's,
And what's the address that you're at now?
It's... Boise, Idaho.
In Boise?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
And you said that's your parents' place. What are your folks' name? Is there a home phone at that house?
Yeah.
What is it?
You want it? Yes. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's like I don't know how often they use it, but
I just
I
wondered.
don't think it's like a.
So you said,
Yeah.
what was the last
Zero.
4?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you just drove home today?
Yeah, it just seemed like everyone else in my house and a lot of the community was leaving, and I do live right down the road, so it kind of seems unsettling being around. Yeah.
No, I get it. Do you have a roommate or anything?
No, I live by myself.
Gotcha. Well, I'm guessing that one of the folks that is working the case, or like a detective or something, would probably want to have a conversation with you. Is that something you're down with doing?
Yeah, I'd love to help if I can help anyway.
Okay. What's the best way to get a hold of you?
The phone number can work. Call or text, whatever.
Your cell phone? Okay. How long are you going to be at your parents' house?
I mean, just until we figure out what's going on with school. I mean, just Thanksgiving break and once classes are, once we figure out what's going on with classes, come back and.
So you're because there's still school left before Thanksgiving break, right?
Yeah, but I have a lot of classes that I just don't need to be currently there for.
Okay, so you're not planning on being in class?
Yeah, I just have stuff I can do on a computer.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'll pass on your information. I appreciate you reaching out, and we'll have a detective get a hold of you and try to figure out a time to take a statement from you.
Okay, I appreciate your time.
All right. Take care. Thanks.
Okay, so we just heard the call, Showalter calling in to the police department and letting him know what he knows. Now, is it possible there was a FRAT connection with Kohberger? Is that even possible? Well, we do know that Brian Kohberger put out a survey on Reddit, and then this mysterious call comes into a show that's talking about the IDAHO4 before he is obviously arrested and indicted. And I've been trying to figure out what the connection to Kohberger to this case was. How did the FBI give them his name? Who gave them a tip for his name? So when I started looking back at Instagram, because Instagram, they have party pictures. And I kept saying, how can we connect this to Brian Kohberger? Well, this was on Hunter Chapin's Instagram account. And if you take a look at all these people, you won't be able to guess all their names, but I've been able to guess 90% of their names. Obviously, some people were tagged in this photo. Did the frats have enough motive to do something like this? Allegedly, in my humble opinion, if there was a backing someone up in a corner and saying, hey, you're going to go down for, I don't know, maybe Hunter Lindo or someone else's demise, then sure. Kaylee was known to be a sleuth. Maybe Kaylee knew everything and put everything together, and that's why she broke up with JD, because she didn't want to have any part of it. Now, this is all alleged. It's not for clicks and views. I'm looking at this case from a perspective of who really murdered these 4 kids. Was there a motive? Was there a mean? Absolutely. I mean, think about it right now. There's something else going on in Moscow with the frats. And boy, they don't want that to get out of hand. We're seeing the police scramble everywhere to try to cover this up. Well, alleged, if you think about it. Too much money at stake. Now let's look at this. This guy right here, Tim DeWolf. Well, is there a connection between him and Kohberger? Is there a connection between Tim and Hunter Chapin? Is there a connection between their frat? Is it possible? It is possible, folks. Brian Kohberger while sitting in Ada County, working with Ann Taylor, subpoenaed someone out of state. And guess who that individual was? This was State of Idaho versus Brian Kohberger. They wanted a material witness that was out of state to come to Idaho just weeks before the trial was to take place. 5/23. 5/23. And when you look at this, they filed a motion for an order to have the attendance of Timothy DeWolf in Idaho for a trial. He was from Washington. So could there be a connection? Abso-freaking-lutely. Absolutely. I've asked for these documents too. Let's see if they'll give them. Yes, because Tim DeWolf was out of state. He was in Washington. I mean, you could do a search on Tim DeWolf since we're live. Let me just pick it up. Let's see if there is a connection. Tim DeWolf, University of Idaho, People Science. And it looks like possibly there is a connection. Because we see him on Hunter Chapin. We see him in a couple of other different things. I'm going to put Timothy. And let's see if he has a LinkedIn or anything professional out there. Campus directory, Timothy DeWolf. Who is Timothy? He was someone that was in the frat with all these guys. Tim DeWolf. I think I researched him. I did some videos on him a long time ago, and it looks like maybe some of his stuff was scrubbed. So let me do a new search and see if I can find him. Yeah, it looks like perhaps he scrubbed everything. Hold on. At the same time, there was a couple of other people who did the same thing. But I think the defense was calling him, obviously, for a reason. Tim DeWolf. And he was called for a material out-of-state witness right here. DWLUF. Hold on. Let me see if I can find something else. U of I. Here we go. Well, it looks like he scrubbed it pretty much good. Whoever did. Campus directory. Does he work for the campus now? Mine says he's in Washington. I don't see anything else for him. Let me look. Let me see if he finished the whole time. Looks like I don't even know if he finished college at the U of I. Hold on. Tim DeWolf. Oh, I just found something else new. Hold on. He's out of Odessa. It's all public. Parents are Margaret, Peggy, and Mark DeWolf of Odessa. Hold on. Huh. Yep, here he is. Let's see what else I could find on him. Mostly everything's been scrubbed. Even its picture linking him to the U of I. That's interesting. Account executive out of, let me see this. Tim DeWolf. Does he work at a law firm? Parker Smith Peak. Let's see what this is. Tim DeWolf, account executive out of Bellevue, Washington. Works at Parker Smith and Peak. What the heck? Hold on a minute. Let me look at this business. Oh, a financial IPM, a financial company. So, yep. There's not much out there on him other than he was called to testify if a trial was going to take place in the IDAHO4 trial. But now it looks like he is totally gone off the internet. Wow. I don't even see him on I don't even see him anywhere anymore. And I Googled him right after the subpoena was sent. Not even here anymore. All right, so there's another dead end because they've scrubbed. The only thing I can find on him right now is LinkedIn, and he's on private. And it still says he's an alumni over at Boise. He's in Boise. Let me see if he's in Boise now. Hold on. Let's see if I can find him. Let's see. So there is one interesting thing here. His parents were from Washington, but he ends up in Boise. How did he end up in Boise? Frontline, here he is. Frontline support, analyst, finished. He's in, looks like general information systems, so IT. Interesting. He finished in May of 2025. Interesting. I wonder why they wanted him. I wonder how long. Oh, he just moved to Boise, guys. I told you he was in Washington the last time I looked. It says IT technician. July of 2025. Right? No way. No freaking way. No way. He moves to Boise right after the trial is canceled. Right after the trial is canceled, he moved to Boise. No freaking joke. You can't make this shit up. July 2025. July is when Brian Kohberger took the plea deal. You can't make this up. Now he lives in Meridian. You can't make this shit up. What in the hell? He was the vice president at Sigma Chi during. Wow. You can't make this up. How in the world is that even possible? How is that possible, y'all? He moves from Washington. He was there for 2 months. He's in Idaho right for the trial. Right before the trial, he moves to Washington. They subpoena him in Washington, then he moves back to Boise after the trial. How freaking odd is that? I wonder what Tim DeWolf knows. I wonder why they were going to bring him home. Bring him to Boise when he was in Washington for a trial, and then the trial gets canceled and he moves there. What does this guy know? You don't just subpoena anyone. And a material witness is huge. Wow. What do you guys think he knows? Because in my humble opinion, a material witness such as Tim DeWolf, a material witness is a person whose testimony is crucial to a case, particularly criminal proceedings, right? And whose absence would impact the outcome of a trial. So when Ann Taylor subpoenaed Tim DeWolf, a FRAT guy, vice president of Sigma Chi, he must have known something, and Tim DeWolf is connected to Hunter Chapin. Yes, the Chapins didn't even go to the freaking sentencing day either. And there's a video I want to show you real quick on that. This is crazy. I just ran across this the other day. This is wild. I'm not making stuff up. This is actually all public information that I'm just sharing with you. One sec. I'm going to share this with you so you guys can see this. Let's do this.
People wanting to make up stuff about it.
Do you know you'll ever find a motive for why what happened?
I don't care.
No.
It does not. It's not something I spend my. There's a lot of people who talk about that too, and I, as the mom of one of these, kids, I don't know. I could never pretend or imagine what it would be to be in somebody's mind like that. And who knows what somebody like that thinks.
It's irrelevant, I guess, considering, if you've got the mindset to do it.
It doesn't change the outcome. My husband and I have talked about that from the very beginning, that, regardless of how this thing played out, nothing we do is going to bring Ethan back, right? It doesn't matter. So, what would we learn if we knew the motive? He's admitted to it. He's in jail for life. I
think that, a fair bit was made also about the family skipping sentencing as well. Did that kind of bother you, or was it, again, just... No.
We went to the sentencing part of it when they changed the sentencing part of it, because that was the point at which our purpose was only in being there to represent our son and our brother, right? But when it came to the next hearing, which was the victim impact statements, there was legitimately nothing that we had. There was nothing left for us to say. What is there to say?
Yeah.
If you can't assume to know, what that feels like or what it must be like to be on our side of it, then I can't.
I don't think anyone probably can do, unfortunately. That's
right?
Just,
Yeah. But I don't, it's not going to do me any good. It didn't, we asked the kids if they had anything to say, and they definitely didn't. It just, again, it doesn't change the outcome.
Yeah. And the files being released as well, again, same kind of answer. That doesn't really affect you too much in terms of the file, they released all those files.
Yeah, I no, I don't know.
Yeah. But but now moving forward, you're using, your sort of experience to try and help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
However I can help Othram and, any other victim, I suppose, in that case, right? Being a victim, Jim and I
had a conversation probably 5 months after we lost Ethan, and it was over a cup of coffee one morning, and we just decided that, you know, you can lose yourself in grief, or you can make a choice to just get up and live your life. And, you know, we had to do that. We had to do that for Ethan's triplet siblings, Maisie and Hunter. They didn't deserve parents that had, you know, potentially gone in the tank or, you know, lost themselves. And we just made a decision, you know, on a day in March of 2023 that on that day that we would, you know, we couldn't change the outcome, and that we had to still live our life and be great parents to Maisie and Hunter, and, you know, give them the best life that they deserved.
Are you still hopeful that you're going to get that resolution that you want, or does it get harder? I know we spoke last.
Okay, so when you see something like that, what does that make you think? I mean, you can drop that in there. If there's something in the live dig you want me to find next, but there is a connection, obviously, with the Chapins, specifically Hunter Chapin, with Tim DeWolf right here in this picture. This guy right here, I wish I could draw on this. And ultimately, when you start looking at the pieces and putting them together, Tim DeWolf was connected to the case via Brian Kohberger. So, allegedly, Ann Taylor knew there was a connection to the frats. Why would they bring the vice president of the frat at the time to a trial involving the IDAHO4 that were unalived if there was no connection to Kohberger? And they named 4 alternative perps within walking distance. So the next time you say that none of this is connected to the frats, you got to be careful what you believe there out on the TikTok streets and on the YouTube streets, because all the documents are all right here for you to go view by yourself. Justice for FOURALL. I mean, I could keep digging and digging and digging, but there is your connection, folks. The connection to Brian Kohberger was the frats. And they were named in the alternative perpetrators within walking distance. The Judge Hippler wasn't going to allow that. Heck no, not on his watch, especially when he was connected to the 1122 King Road, and he was connected via his old partners at the law firm. So how's that, y'all? I hope you guys got what you wanted. There's your connection. So do we dig further? I don't know if he knew this frat guy. All I know that he was summoned as a material witness detrimental to the defense. Tim DeWolf lived in Washington, subpoenaed him in Washington, wanted to court order him to come to Idaho for the trial. And then he moves out of Washington and moves right into Meridian, right outside of Boise. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. So there you go, folks. Have there been any updates in the repository? Not as of today. I've not seen anything new come forward. I've not seen anything new about any case uploads or anything pending. So all the sealing that they keep doing in these documents, they didn't think for 1 minute that we could possibly read the documents and understand. Well, maybe they didn't think people were looking that closely. All I know is that we dig and we find.